Hello everyone, so in this video let us talk about another new concepts in the Go concurrency playlist we have been following through. The concept we're going to study in this video is the select statement. So if you haven't checked out my previous video, I highly recommend you to first go through the whole series because it's very informative and you learn a lot of stuff. So let us talk about what is select statement and then we'll go through different examples as well. So select statement allows a Go routine to wait on a multiple communication operations. So if you have learned about channels in my previous videos, channels can be used to synchronize and to maintain some sort of an order between different go routines. They can also be act as a blocking call so that one go routine can be blocked on another so that they can be some sort of a sync between them. That is what channels can be used for. But let's say one go routine is free. It is blocked on another go routine, but it is blocked now. It can still do some other work. So that is where select statement come into play. Let's take some example. Let's say that there are two cooks. Let's say cook one, like you can assume this is a go routine, but and this cook two. Okay, cook one is cooking some dish. Okay, when the cook one will cook the dish, then only the cook two can take some part of it and cook the other dish. Okay, and they have to make three dishes. Let's say they have to make three dishes. Now the cook one is waiting for cook. So sorry. Cook two is waiting on cooks one to complete the dish. Then only cook two can work on this dish, this dish. But what cook two can also do is that before cook one can complete the dish, cook two can pick up this dish and start working on this. I hope you get the point. So cook 2 should not just wait on cook 1 and waste the time to such that cook 1 will complete their work and then only cook 2 can pick up this task and do this. If there are multiple more other dishes, cook 2 can pick this task, start working on this so that the cook 2 should not be blocked on cook 1. Whenever cook 1 can finish this work, then like maybe cook 1 can also like juggle between both of them and like complete that and so on. I hope you get the point. So that is what select statement is all about. Select statement lets a go routine work on multiple tasks. If it is blocked on one task, it can pick up other task. The go routine can pick up other tasks. Okay, that is what select statement is all about and why it is used altogether. I hope you understand with this example. Let's go through the definitions. In concurrent programming, waiting for a channel operation can be time consuming. Okay, waiting for that can be time consuming. So select statement enables us to perform non-blocking operations on multiple channels. That is what select statement gives us the opportunity. The select statement is like a switch statement. Sorry. The select statement is like a switch statement, but for channels. Remember this as a definition. What is select statement? It allows you to wait on multiple communication operations, making your code more flexible and responsive. It was simple. So now let us go over a go routine. Wait on multiple select lets a go routine wait on multiple communication operation. When one of them operation can proceed, select choose any one of them randomly. If multiple operations can proceed, it will choose randomly. So what this actually means is that select will choose among multiple channels which one it can pick, which is on non-blocking at this current point, and it will take it and pick it. If there are multiple operations which can be picked, multiple channels which are non-blocking, it will pick any one of them randomly. Okay, that is what select will do. If the select you have multiple channels, and select will help you to pick any one of them which is non-blocking. Okay, that is what select statement is all about. Let's not waste any more time. I hope you get the overall gist what select statement is. Let's talk about different code parts so it will become more clear to you. Let's take this as an example first. Okay, so what we have done is that we have a main function here. We created two channels. The first channel is what it is doing is we have now two go routines. The first go routine is first sleeping for 2 seconds, which means like you can assume that it is doing some work for 2 seconds, and then it is sending in the channel that this work is done. Secondly, in the other go routine, it is waiting for 3 seconds and then sending that this work is done. So what you can see here is that we have a for loop. This for loop is calling the select function, and select function is now checking whether we are getting some message from channel 1, then printing it, message from channel 2, then printing it, or no message received. I hope you understand. So this for loop, when we called on select, this select will help you to check whether message 1, like is channel 1 is sending some message. So for 2 seconds, it is a blocking operation because for 2 seconds there is no message in the channel. So that is why this is a blocking operation, because you will not be able to receive any message from channel 1. Similarly, for channel 2 as well, for 3 seconds you will not be able to receive. So it will print no message received. Okay, for 2 seconds. After that, it will print out this, and after 3 seconds, it will print out this. But in two of like iterations, it will like fail. So what I'll do is that, let's say also I'll sleep for some second. Time dot sleep for, let's say, 50 milliseconds. Let's say we'll do some time sleeping at 500 milliseconds, and we run it for, let's say, 10 times. So let's say let's see what's the output, and then we'll talk about it. No message, no message. Okay, we got some. Oh, yeah, okay. I hope you understand what just happened. What actually happened is this for loop is working. This for loop first wait for 50 milliseconds, like very small amount time, and go to a select statement. Now this select statement will check on both the channels that whether is there any message received from the channel, and both the channels are waiting. Both the channels doesn't have any got the message because it is still waiting for 2 seconds. These go routines doesn't push anything in the channels before 2 or 3 seconds. So it will directly go in the default statement and it start printing no message received. So it will keep on like doing, because like 50 milliseconds of 500. So this will mark as 1 second. This has marked as 2 seconds. When 2 seconds is done, then only I'll get a message in channel 1. And when this again do this for loop, it will print out that this is not a non-blocking as of now. This channel got some message, will print it and here. Then after the third second, so this is like 1 second. Both of them receive like make 1 second. So after 2 seconds, you will get a message. After 3 seconds, you again get some message. And because now both the channels are again doesn't have any message, it will keep on printing no message received. So I hope you understand that this select statement is keep on pulling from the channels. You can have a default work here. Let's say you can have any default work. This is like just checking whether I got some message from channel 1, channel 2, channel 1, channel 2. If doesn't have any got the message, it will just keep on waiting. Or you can do some default work. If any one of them sends a message, so let's say you're polling or like you're doing something, like it is keep on checking, like I got some message, I got some message. Whenever I got some message, I will like print out I got some message, else you're printing default message. I hope you understand what's the overall idea of how channels can be used here. Let's take one more example here. So we have gone through this example. Let's take this as an example. What we are trying to do in the previous example is that we have a for loop, and that for loop keeps on running. Okay, let's say we don't know how much time we have to wait. That is 2 seconds. We know that after 2 seconds we'll get, or after 3 seconds we get to know. But if let's say we don't know how much time we have to wait, then what we'll do? We'll talk about this in this example. So this is the same thing. Let's say we have created a channel, two channels, which will, let's say, wait for, this will wait for, let's say, 4 seconds, and this will, let's say, wait for 3 seconds. Maybe we don't know. It has some different works, but we have to wait for some times. So what we'll do is that after the work is done, we'll call the defer close function. This will close the channel. This can also mark that the work is done, because now if the channel is closed, we know that if the channel is closed, the work is done from this go routine, because this defer will be called after the work is done, and the close it will close the channel. So in the for loop, we can run an infinite for loop till both of the, like you can say, what we are trying to do is that if any one of the channels is not closed, then we keep on doing the for loop. We want that both of these functions should terminate, like it should close the channel. Then only it should becomes false and it should break out of the actual for loop. Else, if any one of the channels is still open, it will keep on doing a for loop. So this is like an infinite for loop. And what we'll try to do is that instead of getting a message out of the channel, we'll also take out one more parameter, which is OK. This OK will tell that whether channel is opened or not. Okay, if the channel is open, then we print out the message from it. That is fine. But if the channel is closed, we'll make a variable that is channel 1 closed or channel 2 closed. We mark it as true that this one is closed. We directly cannot check that a channel is closed. We can keep on checking it in the select function, and whenever this function is called, like whenever I'm pulling a value from the channel, we can directly check the channel then only, like whether it is giving some message out of the channel or it is telling that it is closed. If it is closed, we can mark that it is closed. If it is open, it will send some channel back. It can give some value back, or maybe we can wait for it. So in this scenario, what will happen is that we don't actually know, we have not mentioned how much time it will take, but this will work in all the cases. Why? Because whenever the channel is closed, then it will mark as channel is closed as true, and then only when both of them are marked as true, then only this will false, like it will break, else it will keep on doing a for loop. That is how we don't actually have to implicitly give how much for loop we have to do. It will keep on checking. It's less than infinite loop. So let's check out this code now. Okay, so what it does is, like, the channel 1 get closed at 3 seconds. So it will close, and the channel 2, so first channel 2 will get closed. So that is why I get the first thing. Then channel 1 get closed after printing out this message. And when both the channels get closed, this marks both of them as true, and then it goes out of the for loop and it prints that both channels are closed. Okay, that is how you can use that. We don't actually have to give some implicit amount. We can keep on polling and like checking out whether the channels are closed, and then we can just print out. So that's what select statement gives us the capability, that we can, this main go routine is doing some work, and it can check a poll like on both the channels whether I got some message or is it closed. So this select statement, we have to keep on pulling and keep on checking on both of the channels. If any one of them get closed, we can just mark it as closed and then like break out of the for loop if this happens. So that is how we can keep on pulling, and we don't actually break. We don't actually have to pause for anything. Okay, this for loop will run and then it will do its job. That's the overall idea. Select statement is also a little bit less used, but if you have multiple resources and if your different works, you can give some default work to be performed until any one of them is getting some work. Okay, so that is how, like, you can keep on doing this for loop, perform your other work, and if any one of them gives any response back, then only pick them up. Okay, which actually marks that the work is done in those things. So that is how you can utilize or utilize your resources very optimally. That's the overall idea of select statement. If you still have any doubts, you can mention it in the comment box for this particular video. I will see you in the next one. Well, keep coding and bye.